I think this is gonna look better. I don't care about this phone anyway, so I'm like, well, if I get paint on it, who cares? It's an old iPhone I don't use anymore, only to stream. And this might be a good angle. And it already seems like it's gonna show up better. Now I just saw one I liked. It was chartreuse, silver, and yellow. But there's silver on the side. So we're gonna start off with silver. I gotta paint in quantities of like two or three at a time, so that's worth my time to do these. So we're just gonna start with silver. I don't know what lure it was. I just saw this pattern and I really liked it. And it looked fairly simple to do. So we're gonna knock out three of them. Now I might give these a little more. Let me see what this looks like after I dry it. So I don't want it super transparent, but I don't want it super silvery. So give me kind of a good gauge of what we're working with. Yeah, that honestly might be about perfect. I might just go ahead and get it a little more. I'm really more concerned about getting it in these eyes. I got one more, and then we're going to do yellow on the belly. And I'm honestly, I might do this type of yellow. I might do this yellow. I don't know yet. I'm kind of throwing it up in the air. I'm going for some bright colors where it's springtime now. Bright colors usually do fairly well around spring. Welcome in, everybody. We are back at it. I got my errand done for the day. We can get back on it. So I'm before I do this, I kind of just want to look. Well, I'm between two on this. I'm thinking green on top and this yellow on the belly, or this yellow and this green. And now that I look at these two, I'm going with these two. It's an executive decision. I've made my mind up. Don't fault me. So we're gonna do the yellow on the belly. If you're just joining, go ahead and double tap that screen. It helps me get more viewers in here, build my audience up a little bit. Make sure we got them. Thank you for that like. I appreciate it. It really does help these streams. So I'm doing 4 right now. It's a fairly easy color to do. And it's the first time doing it, so I don't want to go overboard and do like 50, you know. But we're going to go fairly light on these colors. What's up, brother? I got I decided I was going back to my other camera. I figured if I'm going to be painting, I might as well hop on live and do it. Now we're going to take it fairly easy on the first pass so we can just see what we're looking like. Well, see, which is I'm thinking I might as well, if I'm painting, just hop on here. Bay, did you ever end up getting whatnot downloaded? Follow me on there, big dog. Mid-mo tackle. I was looking for you last night. I was like, I wonder if he followed me on there. I run some. As of late, they've been kind of crazy streams. This is kind of the more relaxed version of me now, I guess. I haven't used this yellow in quite a while, and I don't know why. But so far, I'm liking it. It's the fluorescent yellow. It's not really, it kind of shows up a little more green than yellow, in my opinion. But for this color I'm wanting to do, it looks pretty dang good. Now I want to check. I'm going to start and look at these first few. Since I'm doing these kind of more transparent, I don't want it to be too thin on here. So I'm just gonna hit these with a hair dryer really quick. Do you mess with fluorescent paints? I'm telling you, that's money. I love the fluorescent. I also paint with a bunch of the iridescent now too. I really just like the pink fluorescent. All right, I've changed my mind. We're gonna go with another layer because these are fairly light. The last one's pretty good, but the first three I'm not crazy about. Oh, dude, I haven't tried that. I just ordered like the master set of the transparent. I'm gonna order the master set of the fluorescent. And I was eyeballing the bloodline too, but to be honest, I don't know how crazy I am about the bloodline. But I know you said it was really good, so I'm like, well, I know you guys can see all this paint right here, but I have probably 100 bottles of various kinds. Mom's look like the red looks pretty good. The bone, I almost thought about ordering a just a large bottle of the bone. I will tell you, my next purchase is going to be a different compressor. So I don't want to go too crazy this week spending money. I owe taxes, so I got to save some of my money. Okay, now we're doing a chartreuse back. Yeah, mixing's where you have a lot of fun. You can come up with some crazy colors. That's where I've come up with my best colors is mixing. And you don't even have to mix like the same kind of whether it's fluorescent or opaque. Sometimes I'll mix iridescent with green, blue green, or vice versa. Make a blue green. If you're just joining in, go ahead and double tap that screen. Now, hopefully, I have enough green for this chartreuse. Actually, well, my biggest problem is water. So I'm thinking, as much as I paint, I have to get something that has a bigger tank on it. It probably doesn't help that this thing runs for like 4 or 5 hours constantly. There's really no way of avoiding getting water. I just have a Harbor Freight, not the Black Widow. This green and this yellow look completely identical. So that's not going to work. So change the plans. In fact, that bottom looks straight green. Any ideas? Got a green belly. I mean, it has a ton of pop, but that's not that's not what I was going for. Maybe, huh? Sure, I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip right now. I mean, one of the most pro tips there is. So a lot of people don't do this. Look up color theory, color wheel, and calculator. This right here. And so I'm going to match that green. And since I'm only doing complementary, I'm just going to need two colors on this. And I'm going to kind of match this green up to that. And it's pretty close to that. So that gives you the color that looks the best with it. And it's kind of a purple. So I'm thinking I can't do it on this one because I kind of already sprayed the back purple. But I'm thinking I could just turn these into joker baits. Think about it. Maybe like some purple tiger stripes. I'm thinking though I'm gonna put purple on the back and then put some scaling and we'll just see how that turns out. It's not really exactly the color I was wanting to go for on these, but it is what it is. Oh, since there's only two people in here, I'll tell you. Stencilcreator.org. That's what you got to go to, see which is you see something you like, you screenshot it, and you put it in there. I don't expect too many people to watch this, but that is one of my deepest, darkest secrets. Yeah, I will. I always like when a bait doesn't work out. It's so much fun. My favorite part, honey purple. Now, well, and that doesn't just go for making them. If you're catching my drift, there's a reason why a lot of them put watermarks because I, well, I'll just mess it to you. I don't give away all my secrets here. Now let's get my purple, and I'm going to do the fluorescent purple. This is one I haven't done in a while. Feeling very fluorescent-y today. I was going for a lime green I guess on the next one I need to do, I'll just go ahead and get my next colors ready for the next run because I really did want to paint these. I was wanting to do, that's not it. Where's the other green? These two. I was wanting to do the back that green and the belly this yellow. But I was going to try it with fluorescence. It did not work, but all is not lost. I can save this. It still looks really cool. Like I'm not complaining. Masking tape, yep. A lot of times I'll just cut stuff out of cardstock. I'm gonna have to make a couple passes on these. The fluorescent purple is just super, super thin. I'm gonna bring this down on the sides a little bit. Now, a lot of times I prefer fishing with a more muted color. However, they bright colors catch fishermen. Got one more, and I think we're gonna do black on the back. I need to, so I'm saving up one day get like an actual shop where I can spray more, you know, hazardous materials, I guess you could say. I don't really have a good spot right now to spray a matte finish because you can't do it any other way but spraying. Now you could add silica to your UVs and it will dampen the gloss a hair, but it does not really help. These shouldn't have any problem floating. I guess it really depends on how thick you're putting it on, but I mean, you'd really have to lay it on there. Yeah, like the stuff Buddy uses, I would not. That is something, and he's smart. Like he ain't a dummy, but that's something you spray into a vent and open the windows because it's pretty caustic. Anything automotive lacquer based, not good. No bueno. Now I'm really not a big fan of breathing this stuff in, even though it is Createx. But if you ever look at the, if you do look at the bottle of fluorescent paint, it contains formaldehyde. So if you're a smoker, I'm sure that excites you. But if you're not, probably doesn't excite you. That's awesome, Victor. That I mean that makes sense too if you're doing really small ones. because especially if you're using oh, that UVLS, that's I turn my compressor on or my dual boost on. I put a mask on. I spray it and I leave the room. I have a nice dehumidifier that I think helps, you know, clear some of that stuff out. But on a really nice day like this, I can just open the door or open the window and. But yeah, that stuff, dude, you have got to use a respirator on it. What kind of what kind of patterns are you painting, Victor? I'm kind of interested. I have a lot of requests for small lures, and I never do them. Oh, dude, yeah, that's. I hope you had a mask on, dude. That's why typically when I'm spraying that, I'm doing it in very decently small runs. That's awesome. Threadfin, that's a great bait. I have some videos on my channel. Uh, I'm gonna be doing one tonight of a Niagara darter. Yeah, threadfin. I've done a few threadfin. That's been one of my more popular requests. That or as a late fathead minnows. But these look really nice without a black back. I don't. I just I spray them. My theory is so I did do a creek chub on some minis. I use Lumelite the UV resin, and I know some people are you need to clean them and all this so the paint sticks. I'm telling you, brother, you have to hit a prop in order to break the Lumelite. It's just so strong that it's going to hold everything on there. If anything, it's more important that you spray the ULVS before you use the Lumelite so that you don't get low spots and you get a complete coating. That stuff is really strong. I mean, matter of fact, you can make lures out of that stuff. It's so strong. Yeah, I already really like this purple and you're like, yeah, that one's staying with me, dude. But seriously though, I'm and it's just that's more personal preference. I know there's a lot of people all the time. Oh, that shit sucks or this sucks. Who gives a shit, dude? If it works for you, it works. And also, if a lure's paint chips, hello, that's bound to happen. You ever seen an old Bagley? I mean, there you can't find an old Bagley that isn't cracked. And I mean like significantly cracked. Besides my Bagley Monster Shad that I'm holding on to. I'd be interested to see what you do, Bay. You have to message me on whatnot because you can send pictures and whatnot on there. I always like seeing seeing what you got. No, you're absolutely right, Victor. The monster shad, that thing's staying with me, dude. I don't collect much. It's only Bagley and Bill Dance. That monster shad, that thing's gonna be worth quite a lot of money here in the future if I keep it in the package. I thought about painting it, and that just seems dumb. That's what I'm saying. You to chip Alumilite or UV resin, dude, you have to like seriously bang that thing up. $3. A monster shad? You got a monster shad for $3. That's a you need to pat yourself on the back. Now I'm gonna try. I have two designs in mind. I'm gonna try this one first and just see what it looks like because I don't want to ruin all the others. So if the first one's good, then I know what I'm doing with the rest. I'm that's dude, that's still a great price. I think I mean there are a lot of collectors, but I think Bagley's significantly underappreciated. Now I'm going to attempt this and see what this looks like. For sure, dude. I definitely will. Yeah, I'm a fan of Mans as well. I just if I just start collecting, dude, it just won't stop. Now I don't know. You can see that. You can kind of see it there. Those little scale patterns I put at the top. Come on, focus. Focus. You just have to imagine what it looks like. It looks pretty good though, so I'm gonna go with it. What kind of airbrush did you get? And I'm gonna paint the eye black. And I have a good idea for a YouTube video I'm gonna throw past you guys. And I'm thinking it'd be kind of cool. I have this little mini air compressor, and the thing sucks. I'm not gonna tell you it's good. It would be kind of cool to go out to a lake, paint one up, put the UV on it, probably bring a UV light because I'm not waiting for the sun, and then fish it. Those Finland shad wraps are really good. Well, it's not an original idea. I saw not the exact same concept. I think I saw it was Marlon Bates did it. It was pretty sweet. That's the thing with where I'm at. I don't really. There are a lot of lakes around. There's nothing that's like within super close distance. So I would like to do it live. Like that'd be sweet to do it live. Unfortunately, I know I don't have any cell phone service out there, so it's not even worth trying. Oh, so you're out South Carolina area. I was gonna do that higher so you guys can see, but I can't paint it. So I'll put it lower. Holy cow! I've noticed there's a lot of painters from Georgia. The biggest lake near me is Lake of the Ozarks, which is massive. Stripers, yep. Clark Hill. There's there's a guy on YouTube, Clark Hill Customs. I wonder if he's from that area. He's an amazing painter. Really? Huh, small world. I was gonna say, he kind of seemed like he was from that Georgia area. It's actually who I learned to paint a crawl from was one of his videos. We got two more, and then we'll move on to another color. If you're just now joining, double tap that screen, subscribe to the channel. Marlon, dude, I didn't, I'll tell you who I first watched was Baker Builds. I never watched Marlin until I started carving wood baits. And it just so happened, I'm like, I had a question. I can't remember what it was. I couldn't get the wood to seal. And I was looking online. I came across this channel. I'm like, holy cow, this dude is unreal. What up, Dale? Double tap that screen, get me some likes, helps boost the channel up a little bit. Channel's been growing like remarkably fast. I'm getting water. Yeah, that's a good practice because a lot of times some of the blanks just aren't good. They're not swimming the same way. They're not made the same way. I'm getting a ton of water, dude. Maybe I need to spend my day and go get another water separator and do it in conjunction with this one. That might be smart. And I got water on my little gill stencil. Let me dry this off. Oh, lovely Missouri spring. Quite a few painters in here right now. What's your least favorite bait to paint? I always like asking that question. Least favorite pattern. How about that? I'll tell you what my least favorite are. Sexy shads. Really easy. Just do not like them. I've drained my tank, but I think I paint so much that I don't. It's just really only so much I can do. Been thinking about getting a bigger tank, and dude, come on. I mean, this is what makes me want to just rage quit. If I'm being honest, it's always the last step, isn't it? Yeah, no, that's a smart idea. I'll mix like mesh and stuff in. A lot of times, if I'm really drawing a blank, I'll look up fish and get some inspiration from fish. All right, I got one more. Then we'll move on to different colors. I'm a big fan of Createx. They have quite a lot of lines of paint. Um, I personally use the transparent, the opaque, the fluorescent. I know I'm missing one. Iridescent, pearlized. I would just start with opaque because you can sink a lot of money pretty quick getting all the paints. Metallic paints, that's true. That is one benefit of acrylic paint is that it seems that the options are a lot less limited. My biggest piece of advice I would say, Dale, is if you're wanting to do it, unless you're just naturally gifted, you're probably not going to be too good in the beginning. But don't be intimidated to try hard stuff. So that's where you learn. You don't learn by painting a silver shad. Like yeah, that silver shad's not a bad idea when you first start, but then you get into it. A silver shad is one of the more basic colors. All right, I'm gonna put some shift on these. There's all kinds of places. I always tell people go to Barlow's because they have such good customer service, but there's quite a few. There's a few that I don't shop at, but for the most part, it's kind of just up wherever I can find the blank and at the decent price, at the best price, and if they're known to have good quality. Some of them will sell you junk. Yeah, but I always tell people Barlow's because I know that their stuff's good. There are cheaper places. Like if especially if you're buying in bulk or you say you're painting 1,000 lures a month or whatever, there's definitely ways to get them cheaper. Most of that's just you gotta learn how to import and but I'm assuming you're not saying you wanna get into it and start selling because that's a whole 'nother monster in itself. It's a whole lot of extra taxes too. No one talks about that. That's extra 10% tax on everything. It's always exciting. Yeah, trial and error. That's where you really learn stuff though, is when you mess that lure up. That's that's when you're like, all right, that's that lesson sticks with you a lot more than when you do one super good. Well, there's way yeah, like you have to really be selling a lot. Now, like I do this for a living, but I mean, it's like 150, 200 lures a week. So it's definitely a job, and I'm not rich. I'm gonna put some shift on the backs of these. It is a lot of fun to do. I don't know. I might not use this one. This is the light violet green. I'm going to do turquoise violet. So I'll show you. That's what it looks like before we hit it with this. I don't really view it as a job, to be honest. It's what I like doing. It's what I'm good at, I think. And to be honest, I'm good at selling. I'd be better at selling than I am at painting. And there's no way I'd ever go be a salesman. I can't do that. It's easy to sell something you like doing, though. Like if you don't like doing it, it's like, yeah, this thing. It's easy for me to sell something that I like. All right, I got two more to put this shift on, then we're gonna move on to another color. I'll have to go grab some blanks really quick. That's what it looks like afterwards. Gives it a nice glimmer. Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Whole lot of fish and a whole lot of paint, it sounds like. Living life high on the hog, big dog. All right, let me clear this out. I'm gonna go. I gotta go to the other room, grab some blanks. So just give me like 30 seconds. Well, that's number one of this stream. Let's see what we can come up with next. I have a list of lures I need to do. All right. I'm really liking these flicker shad ones. I grabbed a few more because those are pretty wicked. 4. Let me go ahead and tape those up. I might go ahead and sign these while I got them here so I don't forget to do it later. Oh, dude, yeah, that's the best part. When you catch something off of something you painted. The first time I caught one off one I carved and painted, that was pretty sick too. I was like, that was a cool feeling. Just signing these really quick. All right. One more. I really like those purple chartreuse. All right, there we go. Thank you for that like. Helps to keep the stream boosted up there. Let me find somewhere to set this. Okay, 4 done. What are we going to do next? What colors do I want to mix? Go ahead and tape these. I really like these little flicker shad style ones. Yeah, you use the uh, what are they? Water slides. Luckily, my initials are pretty easy. It's DJ, so it's pretty easy. I used to use the water slides. I just I don't really have the patience to do that, to be honest. It's another step. Now, if it's one that I'm really going for, right? Like say it's like a wood one I've carved, I will go ahead and put Minmo tackle on it. but for the overwhelming majority of them, I'm just putting my initials on it. I understand it looks more professional. I agree 100%, and it always looks better, but I like signing 'em. Now I gotta figure out what I wanna paint now to pull out my handy dandy list. I got 2 of these and then 2 lipless. Oh, dude, yeah, you're right. See, like, that's kinda what like, with mine, if I were to put Midmo Tackle on there, that's another long one as well. Midmo Tackle LLC, you know? I just go with my initials. And I kinda like people knowing that it's hand painted. And I just got a one of my fishing buddies just texted me this. Everything in Revolt's 20% off today. Well, well, well. Might be the day I get some automotive clear coat. He's been on me for months, dude, trying to get me to do that. He's eventually gonna get me. At 20%, I'm honestly, it might be worth buying it and just saving it till I get my little shed put up here. All right, let me go to my list. I have a list of stuff that I'm needing to do and see what sounds the most fun right now. See what sounds fun to me. I do need to do some crawls. I agree. Uh, and there is a huge upside to it is that you don't have to clear the hook hangers out when you're done. You can do 15 at once. Other than that, though, I just like Alumilite because I know it's super strong. It's not even that I don't think that stuff's strong. I do think it's strong. It's that I don't really feel like learning another method at this point, you know? Now I don't feel like painting any of these, dude. Crappie, baby bass, root beer, peanut butter jelly, blue crawl, red crawl, bone, crackle crawl, clown, frog, chartreuse, silver, yellow. I just actually did that one. Actually, I didn't. Maybe I should do that one now. 'Cause I messed the colors up. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do silver on the sides, yellow on the belly, and then green on the back. Now, baby bass is probably is the easiest one on that list. The crawls, I typically on for the crawls, I just take one day and suffer through those. I like using not using the stencils for those. I prefer to use like, well, it's I guess technically you could consider it a stencil still, but cutting it out of cardstock and doing one line at a time, I think it just looks better. I'm gonna try to do what I was trying to do right there. I don't know what lure I saw this morning, but I'm like, that'd be kind of cool to do with the silver and make it a little transparent. Are you using like a point two or a point like the micron? I was just looking at a Createx micron last night. Or not Createx, an Iwata Createx micron, dude. Come on now. What am I saying here? That's a really nice airbrush, dude. I've been eyeing it. I'm wanting to get one. I think I spend so much time talking about paint, and I feel like I know more about paint brands than I know about fishing lures. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Reds and purples, yep. Around here, dude, I my surprisingly the one that I've had the most luck with are electric chicken, which is kind of crazy. I kind of painted that one on a whim. And the bluegill. The bluegill smokes them around here, but that's like the typical bait fish for bass. Pretty much any fresh water in the country, it seems like, but especially around here. Brown crawl, yeah. A root beer crawl, that's one of my favorites. All right. I messed this up the first time. So where is the yellow? There it is. I got my paints. Clear. Oh, that's a good one, dude. Clear. I also like the bone one. The bone one's really good as well. Red and purple. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Kind of almost like when I think red and purple, I almost think of like June bug, zoom worms. First lure that comes to mind for me. I'm gonna hit this with a hair dryer so I can pick it up and hold it. It's kind of hard to spray these when they're not off the stand. Yeah, probably because it's local. They also see chartreuse really, really well. Really, I might have to try something like that. This one's still wet again, so I'm gonna hit it with the hair dryer as well. That silver takes forever to dry. Of course, thanks, brother. Thanks for hanging out, man. Need more yellow. Almost out of yellow on this bottle. Okay, now we're gonna put green on the top. That is what I'm gonna go with today. A lot of times I kind of feel the same way. Like I think the chartreuse is almost too bright. And it just doesn't look natural. Like for my bodies of water around here, chartreuse is not a natural color you're gonna see. Now I know in a lot of spots chartreuse is the color that works the best, but honestly here, I really the best I have are blue and white. Kind of surprising, like crappie wise, blue and white every day of the week. But chartreuse, even like the road, I will say road runners are top tier. But even the chartreuse or the chartreuse roadrunner, it's not the best one for me. But the road, I tell people all the time, the road runners, those are some of the best jigs money can buy. Hey, speed it up. I'm working slow today, fellas. Holy cow! So are you in Arkansas or in Missouri? Because I obviously know Table Rock's Southern Missouri. I think you've told me before. I always forget, man. All I know about Table Rock is that Randy Ballclot complains about it constantly. If you know, you know. You get what I'm saying there. I'm gonna hit this one with the hair dryer because I can tell the paint is coming out of the hair too thin. That's awesome. This is kind of what I was going for. It's kind of transparent with the green and the yellow. However, it needs something. And I don't know what it needs, but it definitely needs something. So I'm gonna look. I almost want to add some red to them. Red, maybe. I don't know. Maybe some red gills. I might just go with that same scale stencil I just used and add some black to them, which I might regret, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, it is definitely very clear. You're spot on about that. Okay, now I don't know if I really want to do this, but I'm going to. I'm gonna do some black scaling. Hmm. Let me just try on this big one here. want to do a little bit of scaling on the top. It's something in me. I just like the black backs, so it's hard for me to not do it. We're gonna see. Try on the first one and we'll go from there. If this one sucks, you can always do a different one. So grab my trusty stencil, trusty mesh, and I'm just barely gonna get the side. So I don't want to lose the green completely. There we go. Adds a little bit of, you're probably not gonna be able to see it very well. There you go. Adds a little something to the top. And I'm probably gonna hit this with a gold green color flipped on their end. So the back will actually match the rest of the lure. I like it. I'm gonna go with it. And we'll still add a gold or a red gill plate on it. Holy cow, dude. That had to have been cool to catch. What's up, brother? I mean, how long did you fight a 57-pound flathead? That's crazy, man. That's a huge fish. Thank you, buddy. Trying some different colors this week. I got to do my staples, but I want some new stuff. What's up, babe? Now that actually, it's hard to see, but that silver in the middle really gives it a nice flash. Dude, I'm like, I know the Missouri River runs forever, but I live like maybe a fifth of a mile, quarter of a mile from it. Obviously, not in the river bottoms. If you guys like this, I guess I should say this. If you guys do like my work and you want to see some more of it, follow me on Facebook as well. It's another spot you could see a lot of the stuff that I didn't paint live or I painted live in the past. Yeah, it's running fast now after all the rain. Nice talking to you, brother. We just got hammered by rain. All right, one more, and then we'll put the. No, I'm in Missouri. I know I talked about moving, but the moving for me it would only be further south in Missouri. So more south you get, the cooler it gets. Almost done with these. Like Table Rock, that area, dude, that's some of the coolest. And then if you just go south of Table Rock into Arkansas, you got a bunch of really nice scenery and some amazing fishing. Let me get the tail. All right. Now we get to put our gill plates on. Cut the air off for a second. It'll be coming back on shortly. Yep. How it goes, isn't it? I've never been up to Iowa. I could, I mean, I say south, I would move to Arkansas, but it'd have to be like middle of nowhere, Arkansas. Really what I would think. We're gonna put these gill plates on now, and then I will do the shift on them. I'm gonna use the bigger hoop on this. Now it doesn't line up perfectly with the gill plate that's molded onto the lure. It doesn't matter as long as it gets the certain shape of it. Watching corn grow. Oh, that's funny. If that ain't the truth. Heck, northern Missouri feels like that quite a bit too. Kind of surprising. I would expect the fishing up there to be pretty good. It seems though, yeah, I was about to say, it seems though the further south you go, the better the fishing gets. That one's probably my favorite, the best color wise one so far. At least it's the most put together, I should say. All right, one more, and then we'll do our shift. I got a couple more I need to do. Thank you, buddy. All right, now let's put the shift on them. This will. I have a shift that's almost perfect for this because it's green and it's gold, and the gold looks pretty close to the yellow on the bellies of these. So I think it'll actually look really good. I think it will pop. Oh no, I'm almost out of it, dude. I gotta order more. I really gotta order more. I might have enough for these, and that's it. That's like one of my favorite ones too. All right, there you go. You look, that shift makes the back look green. It's still black, but it really makes that green and black seamless. Which is what I was wanting to go for. So we got four more done, and I have an idea for the next. Let me go grab some blanks. I'll be right back. I'm wanting to do another root beer and just do it like normal. However, I'm wanting to splatter down the back, kind of like a bandit would have. Give me a second. Okay. I grabbed the blanks. I don't know. Do I do that or do I try a different color? I can't decide. Do you guys have any ideas of what I should try? That'd be a good. Gauge the crowd. I know I had a lot of requests this past week for splatterbacks, which seemed to be kind of a hot color. I may take a quick break. I'll probably get back on later this evening and paint again, but it's about lunchtime for me now, so I will have to try that bay later. I was gonna keep painting, but it's lunchtime and I'm kind of hungry. I wasn't gonna stop, but I will definitely give that one a go tonight. So thank you guys for hanging out. I will be back later.